Hoffman with SportingNews.com. Go ahead, Stephen.
Thank you guys on the call today. Leonard, I have a question just regarding you were talking about tickets. There's still tickets available. Approximately how many tickets are available for the fans?
Excuse me?
You were saying that there were still tickets on sale left for the fight. I was just wondering approximately how many tickets are still available for the fans next weekend.
I haven't read my report today. I don't see why there would be any concern about how many tickets are sold.
We just had just to see if for fans, say if 5,000 fans want to go, fans do want to go see the fight. So that was the only reason I was asking.
I don't hear nobody saying, like normally, even if it was Marcos Maidana, even if it was Robert Guerrero, I don't hear fans saying, or friends of mine saying, oh yeah, I'm about to go out to Vegas. Right now, if you don't know, we're 6 days away from Mayweather versus Berto. I am TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. All Access Episode 3, Mayweather versus Berto, will air on 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Showtime on the 11th. It's going to be before, I don't know if it's before or after the weigh-in. But basically, look at it like this. It's a fight where I'm excited for, and people are saying, TstreeT, stop trying to sell this bullshit fight. I get where you're coming from, but I'm excited for it because I'm just a boxing fan, and me watching so many Andre Berto fights, and of course watching all these Floyd Mayweather fights, I'm thinking, well, Andre Berto does have some type of chance. He does have some type of chance. The only reason why Andre Berto's or this fight is being shunned is because Floyd could have fought so many different other people. And it's like, when it comes to All Access, the All Access is people are saying, Steven Espinoza, for example, said during the Floyd Mayweather media call that All Access Episode 1 premiere was on par with the rating for Inside Mayweather versus Pacquiao. That was the Mayweather versus Pacquiao version of All Access. And I'm thinking to myself, he's a business executive. Would he just make some shit like that up? Because I got so many people telling me right now that they're not even watching All Access. They're watching it like 2 to 3 days after it goes off. After it airs. They're not staying in the house on Friday night like they was with Inside Mayweather versus Pacquiao, or Mayweather versus Maidana 2 All Access, or Mayweather versus Maidana 1 All Access, or Mayweather versus Saul Canelo Alvarez All Access, or even Mayweather versus Guerrero All Access. What people are saying is that, I don't give a shit about this bullshit ass fuck. And I'm thinking to myself, I can agree with you on how you should not give a shit on this bullshit fight. For example, I'm not the only media affiliation saying this. Everyone is saying, why is Mayweather putting on, this farce? And what it is you're noticing now that there's been a lot of talk about ticket sales. This is a Mayweather fight where it still looks like more than half, not more, I'm going to say about half of the arena tickets still have not been sold. And I'm thinking, is the spark gone from Mayweather? Is it because he fought Pacquiao, because all that saga is over, do fans really clamor to see Floyd Mayweather? Because Floyd Mayweather has told us himself time and time again that he can fight cab drivers or anyone and people will come to see him. But those days are over. Why? Is because people have been always wanting to see him lose, and people always wanted to see him lose to Pacquiao. So now that part of his career is over, instead of, I'm trying to figure out, is this just Floyd? It looks like to me, I'm not going to say is it. It looks like to me this is just a situation where Floyd is just fulfilling his Showtime obligation. Where it's nope, I gave y'all Mayweather versus Pacquiao. I gave y'all Mayweather versus Canelo, 2 of the biggest pay-per-views of all time. And now for this last fight, I want to fight somebody where I feel I can easily beat. But does he feel he can easily beat Berto? Is this a fight where he says, okay, well, Berto lost 3 of his last 3. Robert Guerrero beat him. Soto Carras beat him. Victor Ortiz beat him. I beat 2 of the 3 of those guys. And of course, Floyd Mayweather can beat Soto Carras. Is this his logic, or what is his logic behind picking Andre Berto? That's been the biggest question among fans' minds. And if you don't know, the pay-per-view is $74.99. And of course, I don't know anyone who's buying in standard definition. You might as well just stream the fight. Who's buying in standard definition? This is a fight, it's a shame that, I'm not really thrilled about having to pay for, but at the same time, I pay for Floyd Mayweather fights every year, so it's not really it's a tax write-off. Simple as that. So All Access hasn't done a good job in displaying or portraying or displaying to me why I should tell fans you should buy Mayweather versus Berto. You know, I'm telling people to buy Mayweather versus Berto or watch Mayweather versus Berto because I feel it's going to be an intriguing fight, a different fight that Floyd Mayweather has fought in his career. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, well, what if Berto is able to be the one to crack the Da Vinci Code? I'm not saying he will. People want to put words in my mouth. I'm not saying that Andre Berto is going to beat Floyd Mayweather. What I'm saying is, what if he does have the skills to be able to put on a more exciting fight than maybe a Marcos Maidana did? Because let's be honest with you, Marcos Maidana won in 2, but most importantly, 1 was Floyd Mayweather's most exciting fight under the Showtime contract because we had a real genuine sense, and even Floyd Mayweather himself at the end, where he went to raise his hands but then put him down, you know, like, because he had that doubt in his mind that he won Marcos Maidana. Because in my opinion, depending on who watched that fight or how you score that fight, I said the fight could have been a draw. You know, I remember, and I'm going to stick to my word, I feel that Mayweather versus Maidana 1 could have been a draw. Just like I have Pacquiao losing to Mayweather. I've never been one of those people that say, oh, well, you know, go back and watch it in slow motion and all that. I've seen the slow motion, and yes, I do see some discrepancies. But at the same time, when it comes to on paper, Floyd Mayweather won the fight, and nobody's trying to hear otherwise. Now, the other end of the spectrum is people are thinking that, well, Floyd Mayweather's taking this easy fight to protect the money because his next fight for his 50th, he can ask HBO or Showtime, you know, for some astronomical amount of money. And then we got that new MGM Grand Arena opening in May of 2016, a brand new MGM Grand Arena opening in May of 2016. And what better arena than to have maybe the second highest selling pay-per-view of all time, or maybe the third if they do it right, with Mayweather versus Pacquiao 2. So maybe he's taking his Andre Berto fight as looking at it as an easy fight to protect the money for the 50th fight, to make sure that he finally stays retired come, you know. And right now, of course, fans are understanding that no one really believes that Floyd is really retiring. Even though he's saying it, no one's really believing that he's really retiring. And if you want to retire, then why, you know, not retire on the top like after Pacquiao? Why retire, even though I know he had to fulfill his contract, why retire on a note of an Andre Berto? You know, it's like you got that big legacy-defining win, you know, that legacy-defining win because it was against Manny Pacquiao, and then you fight Andre Berto. There's got to be something else. And even if it's not Mayweather Pacquiao 2, it could be Mayweather versus Golovkin. I'm not saying he should fight Golovkin because he never fought at 160. But, or if it is, you know, a fight at 160, you know, maybe you could fight Miguel Cotto again. Even though Miguel Cotto weighs in at 153.4 pounds, you can fight Miguel Cotto in a rematch at 154 if Miguel Cotto beats Saul Canelo Alvarez. You know, so like I said, there are big fights out there for Floyd. The reason why I'm not mentioning names like Keith Thurman and things like that, because for Floyd's 50th fight, I feel it's got to be like a big name that's going to bring in money. And right now, it's only a certain few amount of names that can actually bring in money. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live of RealCombatMedia.com, and I cover every single major fight live. Please subscribe.